Students, in this class we are going to start with lesson 2, the rise and spread of Islam. In the introduction part we can see that the origin of Islam, the place, the area. Islam arose in the Arabian Peninsula. It arose in the Arabian Peninsula, and this was a desert. It was a vast desert lying between the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. Okay, and these places inhabited by the warring tribes of nomadic people who led a very hard life. The Islam, it arose in the Arabian Peninsula. It was a desert, and this place was between the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. The people of this area, they were warring tribes of nomadic people who led very hard life, and these people were superstitious and they believed many god and goddesses. Okay, that was the specialty of the people, those who inhabited in Arabia. They believed in god and goddesses. They believed in many god and goddesses. And now we can see that the early life of prophet or advent of Islam. Who was the founder of Islam? Prophet Muhammad. He was the founder of Islam. The founder of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, he born in Mecca in AD 570, and he brought up by an uncle, and he came to know about the Christian and Jewish religion. He was impressed by their belief in one God. Prophet Muhammad, he was impressed, attracted with Christian and Jewish religion. Why? Because they believed in one God, and they believed in one God. So Prophet Muhammad, he attracted with this religion. Okay, and now we can see that the divine revelation. At the age of 40, Muhammad, he is said to have started receiving divine message through the angel Gabriel. At the age of 40, Prophet Muhammad, he started to get messages from God through angel Gabriel, and these words are compiled in the Quran, and this book is the holy book of Islam. And he teach, or after receiving the message, he got message from God, and he, after receiving the messages, he started to teach people, to preach people. He gave, or he preached monotheism, or he believed in monotheism, believe in one God. Okay, and next we can see that the importance of Hijrah. Muhammad, he forced to leave Mecca, and some of his teachings went against the established faith in the Arabs. I told you in the introduction, the Arab people on those days, in the first half, they believed, they give more importance for the worship of God and goddesses. They worshipped in, they were superstitious, and they believed in many god and goddesses. But Prophet Muhammad, he teach about monotheism, or believe in one God. So he was forced to live in Mecca, and he went to Medina. He changed his place. He went to Medina, and Muhammad's escape to Medina in AD 622 is called Hijrah. Okay, and his teaching, Muhammad's teaching, it was popular in Medina also. Okay, he was popular in Mecca, and he forced to came in Medina, and he was popular in Medina also. And later, after many years, he was welcomed back to Mecca and hailed as a prophet, or the one chosen by God to spread his message. Okay, up to here, once again I will explain. Islam arose in Arabian Peninsula. It was a desert between Red Sea and Persian Gulf, and on those days, the people, those who lived in area, they were nomadic people, they were tribes, and they believed in many god and goddesses. And in the Prophet Muhammad, he is the founder of Islam. He is born in 570, and he brought up with his uncle. Okay, and he was impressed by Christian and Jewish religion. Why? Because they believed in one God. And at the age of 40, Muhammad, he started receiving message from God through angel Gabriel, and these messages compiled in the Quran, that is the holy book of Islam. And Muhammad give more importance for monotheism. After receiving the message, Prophet Muhammad, he started to teach people, preach people, and he teach about monotheism, believe in one God. And after some times, Muhammad, he was forced to leave Mecca and he went to Medina. This escape to Medina in AD 622 is called Hijrah, and his teaching was popular in Medina also. And after some years, he was welcomed back to Mecca and hailed as a prophet, or the one chosen by God to spread his messages. And what was the important teachings of Muhammad? What was the teachings? Muhammad called upon his followers to accept Islam, which means to surrender to the will of Allah, the one God and only God. The followers of Islam called Muslim. The followers of Islam are called Muslim, and the Islam people, they considering us Muhammad as God's last prophet. Okay, and Muslim, like Christians and Jews, believed that everyone will have to face the day of judgment. Muslim also believed, the first lesson we discussed about the judgment day. There will be a judgment day. He will punish the sinners. He will reward for the people, those who are doing good deeds. Muslim also believing like this, like Christians and Jews. And the Islam, they give more importance for the responsibility of every individual to live a life of faith without the help of priest. And Islam give more importance for the equality and brotherhood of man, and it prohibit certain things like the worship of idol, eating of pork, and charging of interest on loans. The Islam give more importance for equality and brotherhood of man, and it did not support worship of idols, eating pork, and charging of interest on loans. And next we are going to see that 5 duties of a Muslim. What are the 5 duties of Muslim? First one, first duty, all the Muslim or the every Muslim, they have to correctly recite loud the Shahada. And the second duty is they have to pray 5 times in a day. And the third one is every Muslim, they have to help the poor people. And fourth one is they should fast from dawn to dusk in the month of Ramzan. And last one is the Muslims, they have to visit at least once the holiest shrine. This was the 5 duties of a Muslim. First one, every Muslim must correctly recite loud the Shahada, and the second one, they have to pray 5 times in a day, and they have to help the poor and pay tax on his income to contribute to the well-being of the entire community. And they have to fast. They should fast from the month of Ramzan, and at least they have to visit in a life, once in a life, the holiest shrine. And next we can see that what are the important developments happens after the death of Muhammad. In the introduction part, we saw that the people, those who lived in the ancient period, they were warring tribes. They fought each other. But after the death of Muhammad, the Muslim or the Islam united the Arab tribes and spread feeling of equality and brotherhood. And he died in 632. A caliph or khalifa, a successor of the prophet. Who is Caliph or Khalifa? Successor of Prophet is called Caliph or Khalifa. And these people, he become the religious and political leader of Muslim community. Caliph or Khalifa, he become the head of political, religious head of the Muslim community. And the first 4 caliphs, who were the first 4 caliphs? Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman and Ali, they were the 4 caliphs, first 4 caliphs. And after that we can see that the split of this community, the Muslim community or Islam community, it is split into 2 sects, Shia and Sunni. What is the 2 sects of Islam community? Shia and the Sunni. The areas governed by the caliphs were known as caliphates. What is meant by caliphates? The areas, that governed by caliphs are called caliphates, and the two most important powerful caliphates were Abbasids and Umayyads. Who are the two important powerful caliphates? Umayyads and Abbasids. Okay, and the 8th century Arab influence extended from Spain in Europe to Sindh in India. Around this time, some Arab traders settled along the coastal region of India, Gujarat, and the Malabar. They interacted with the local population and spread Islam in this region. Many Arab people they came in the shore of Gujarat, in the seashore of Gujarat, and they settled there, and they interacted with the people, those who lived in that shore, and slowly they spread, Islam spread in that area also. Okay, and in AD 712, the Arabs invaded Sindh and annexed to their empire. Many trade settlements sprang up in Sindh, increasing India trade contacts with West Asia. Arab expansion beyond Sindh was checked by Rajput rulers in North India. The Arab traders mainly they came to India, especially in the seashore of Gujarat. They interacted with the people, those who lived in that area, and Islam religion it spread in that area. Okay, up to here all of you read children, very easy portion. Read again and again. If you have any doubt about this lesson, you can ask to me, and here I am going to include the question answers of the lesson 1. All of you please write in your notebook and by heart all the question answers. Thank you.